What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. As you can see, the war paint's back on. A little different this time, right? Get used to it. My face paint is never the same from video to video. So much to talk about again. So very much to talk about again. But again, where to start? So, let's kind of start with this. And this basically comes from me not tagging, that's fine. Considering the topic and what YouTube and Facebook is doing with all this fact-checking bullshit, kind of makes it hard to put tags into something like that. Would you agree? But I had someone who saw my video. They didn't reach out to me on Facebook or YouTube. They actually do kind of sort of know me. And they asked me, they say, why do your face paint like that? Why paint your face at all for your videos? Especially since you don't get a lot of views. First off, it's different. I mean, how many conspiracy theorists or truth seekers paint their face? How many people on YouTube really paint their face for their videos? Outside of like ICP, Twisted, stuff like that. Almost nobody. Your average YouTuber doesn't really paint their face. And there's a lot of Juggalo YouTubers that for the most part don't paint their face. And of course, me being a Juggalo, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I really do. But why paint my face? Let's consider the content. And let's consider the persona that I have for both channels. But for this channel in particular, why do it? Very simple. This is war paint. Anytime I post a video on this channel, my face is painted, which should be quite a few videos to come. That's war paint. That's me gearing up to go to battle. Kind of fitting, don't you think? So, but where to start with this video? You know, I've got several projects in the works. Matter of fact, shortly after I finish recording this video and set it up for editing, I'll be working on another video. Be about the only time you ever see the same style of face paint in more than one video I do. But where to start? There's so much for me to cover. There's the fact-checking shit on YouTube and Facebook. There's Joe Biden and his vice president, I guess you'd call him. I'm not really, still not too sure on what to call you. Where to start? You already kind of know where I'm starting. So let's talk about Facebook and YouTube, shall we? Months ago, they started this whole thing called fact-checking. What? But they weren't fact-checking every single post that's put on your page or put into your groups that you're a part of. they're only fact-checking stuff about Joe Biden, Camel Toe Harris, COVID-19. Why? What is it you don't want getting out? And if you look at their official reports, it's, oh, we don't want people spreading fear through false information. But yet, you don't fact check anything else. For the most part, Facebook, and we're going to touch on you for a second. For the most part, Facebook, you're not really involved with the Facebook community unless somebody turns a person into you all because they got their feelings fucking hurt. All because the person was being blunt and straightforward and everything about their opinions. And these little fucking pansies that we're dealing with nowadays got their panties in a twist over it because they couldn't handle the truth. You let all this other false information bullshit float around Facebook, and you let nothing happen to it. You do nothing to it. But if something's brought up about COVID-19, for example, and it's stating on the boxes that they are ineffective against COVID-19, false information, automatically stricken down. What? Or bring up something about Biden or Harris. False information, strike it down. Why? But yet the shit that's put on about Trump and various other topics that can be considered false information and has been proven to be false information, you don't take it down. Oh wait, that's right, because you're not a Trump supporter. Trump does nothing for you. He doesn't work for you. He actually does his job as president. The president doesn't work for you, Facebook, or YouTube, or these big multi-million-dollar corporations. The president is doing what he's supposed to do. He's working for the people. And that's what pisses all of you off. Especially you, Biden, but you're in a whole nother video. Don't worry. Don't worry, old man. I got some shit for you. But then we get to YouTube, who's doing the same thing. Anything they deem to be false information, taken down instantly. And of course, they have their whole little 45-second algorithm. Talk about an algorithm that's easy to beat. That's why I typically sit here and bullshit for the first minute or so of my video. Dumbasses. But now we're getting to a point with both Facebook and YouTube where they're wanting to fact check conspiracies. What? You're wanting to fact check conspiracies? Why is that? Are we, the conspiracy theorists and truth seekers, getting a little too close to something that you and your corporate masters don't want us to be near? And while we're on this subject, this is how I know that we're getting close to something that they don't want us being anywhere near. I've reached out to a buddy of mine who has some dark web contacts. These are motherfuckers who, because of their talents, will say, don't scare easy. I asked his contacts, a couple of his contacts, for some very special items, including a complete history of the Illuminati. Coincidentally enough, not only has he had contacts completely vanish, a handful of them were the contacts that were working on the items I asked for, especially the history of the Illuminati. Why is that? And I asked my buddy, I'm like, why all of a sudden would that spark something? And then I found out that in the last few months alone, let alone this year, there's been over 500 hits for history on the Illuminati. Really? Are people actually starting to wake up a bit? One can hope. But again, what is it that you don't want us near? What is it that you don't want us heard? Do you know something that we don't know? Wait, that's kind of a dumb question. Of course you know something we don't. That's why we search for it. But are we getting a little too close to something you don't want us finding out? That is the $100 million question at this point. The fact of the matter is, through the actions of Facebook and YouTube with this fact-checking bullshit, and through certain actions that are just blatantly done out in the open by the puppet masters, people are starting to wake up. And I personally love it. I really do. Because it means that they're no longer putting up with the bullshit. They're no longer going to listen to your lies. And it's about time people started waking up. It only took them a few thousand years to do it. How do I want to finish this video? Finish it with this. You're going to start noticing in a lot of my videos when it comes to my face paint, this nice little X. Tonight it's black and red for obvious reasons. But regardless of what color or colors it is, you're always going to see this X. Because I've done this a few times in my videos. My buddy Kraken has as well. But now I'm actually going to give you your X. X marks the spot. This is a message to the Illuminati and anyone, and I do mean anyone that follows them. You are going to fail. And yes, I saw that nice little streak of light behind me. You're going to fail in your mission, and people like me are going to be the reason you fail. When it comes down to it, we will not falter in our mission to destroy you. So as I've done before, come and get me. Come and scare me. If you dare. X marks the spot. As for the rest of you, I highly, highly recommend that you start waking up.